So, hello everyone. My name is Pyry Grönholm, and I'm from Prosys OPC. My idea is to give you kind of like in a nutshell the idea how to start with using the OPC UA, or it's especially targeted for those people that probably are not yet using OPC UA that much, but now are convinced that it would be wise. So, I try to give you like hints how to learn more, how to start using the application, and how to start actually developing like OPC UA interface for your existing products. So if we start from the learning, so nowadays I think the most convenient way to learn more is to watch videos. So and fortunately there is actually quite a lot videos available on YouTube about OPC UA, and some of them are actually even made for those people that want to learn more. The first place to go and look for the videos is of course the OPC Foundation YouTube channel. There is plenty of videos. I would say that like if you're a little bit newbie, start with the getting started, tech intro and certification videos. They are a little bit overlapping the presentations that we have seen today, for example, but still in really short time you will recap all the necessary things about the OPC UA. The second place to go is, of course, the Finnish Society of Automation YouTube channel. You can soon find all the presentations that we have heard today there, but also all the presentations from the previous years held here at the OPC Day Finland. So those two, like definitely if you like the easiest way to learn more about OPC UA is to go and watch those videos. If you are not that much in type that you want to watch videos, but you prefer like literature or written material, there are of course a few books you can read. These three I have mentioned here, they are definitely ones that like, well, honestly speaking, I have only touched the green one, but there I have heard like good feedback from all of them. These are available at least at the Amazon, all of them at the moment. I checked yesterday, and like, of course, like once you read these, it's pretty heavy stuff, but at least like if you can really learn the things on these videos, you will be quite an expert after that. Another good resource to search for material is that if you go to the OPC Foundation website, so it doesn't really show clearly, but it states resources here. And under that category, there is a lot of material, such as, of course, the OPC UA specifications, but also use cases and white papers. Actually, there is also in page where these books are listed, and all the translations to all different languages as well. And the third way is, of course, to participate like workshops and trainings. I would say this is, of course, the fastest way. And, well, there are several companies that arrange regularly this kind of like open workshops that you can just participate. Of course, you need to pay a fee. From the companies that are sponsoring this event, at least Us, Prosys, OPC, and Unified Automation arrange this regularly. But in principle, all the companies that are offering training, they offer also customized training and workshop for the companies. And this is actually like something that is done much more than the open workshops, of course. Now, if you want to find easily who are the ones that are providing the training, OPC Foundation, they list experts. And as you can see there under About and OPC Foundation, there is an expert section. And that lists like all the OPC Foundation credited experts, and one of the category is training. Of course, there is other categories as well, so if you need OPC UA expert, that's definitely the first place to go to look forward for that. And this way, it's easy also to find the companies and the people that are offering the training. Now, once you decide to start using the OPC UA, how to find products? Well, once again, I think we have already discussed about this in the previous presentations, but the OPC Foundation website has a product like listing. There is listing for certified products, but there is also listing for products that are not certified. Of course, the vendors need to add their products on this listing. And then there is a search tool. So if you look forward for example, let's say Modbus gateways, then you of course write here Modbus, and it will filter you products that support Modbus at least some way. What I definitely say that once when you are searching the product, the really something like that, the typical mistake that you can do is that you don't check the profiles and facets that are supported by the product. This is extremely important because under this OPC UA umbrella, there is a lot of products, and sometimes they really let's say, support quite strange combinations. And that, of course, kind of enables interoperability problems if you expect to have a product with OPC UA DA support, and you have a client for that, but the product only supports historical access. Then, when you start using these OPC UA applications, I definitely recommend you that download at least a couple of the free test tools, because you will need them at some point. Once you use the test tools, whenever you are troubleshooting, you will get much better indications what might be wrong. And there is some, well, let's say, well-known providers of free test tools in principle, of course, the OPC Foundation, GitHub, you can go and check from the .NET Legacy project, the samples, and then there is from Unified Automation and us, we both have both OPC client and OPC UA server, that is kind of like a generic. They are free, you can connect to the servers, or you can use the client to connect any server, and there is quite human readable user interface that gives you a I have a screenshot of the Unified Automation UA Expert, which probably is the most used generic client, and also Prosys OPC UA simulation server, and that's, I would say, the most used sample server. Pretty often, of course, the first question is that I have an existing hardware and I need to convert this to OPC UA. What should I do? In principle, you will need 3 types of applications to do this. The first type of application is that you have to convert all kind of vendor-specific protocols to OPC UA. The second type is that you have an existing OPC classic DA server typically, or even HDA and alarms and events server, but you need to convert that to OPC UA server. And the third is that you have already OPC UA servers, but for the there is many reasons, but typically it's due to the lack of security of the embedded OPC UA servers, or due to the fact that you need to maintain the connections a little bit more centralized way. You need an aggregating server. I have put logos of some well-known companies providing applications for 1 or 2 or even 3 type of these softwares, and of course, you can go once again to the OPC Foundation product catalog and search for the product, but in principle, there are some market leaders that everyone is using, and the logos are definitely shown there, so I wouldn't go further than checking these companies. Then when you think that, okay, I have a product and an information system, a PLC or automation system, and I need an OPC UA interface for that system. It's good to understand a little bit about the programming model. So historically, there has been a low-level API for development, which basically only implemented the communication, the OPC UA communication level. All the other OPC UA services were left out from that level. And that's why there are OPC UA SDKs, which offers higher level API. So you don't really need to implement this kind of a basic services yourself, but you can concentrate on just implementing your application-specific features. So in principle, you buy or probably use some open source SDK, and you implement your application with that. There, under the SDK, there is the stack that originally was actually provided by the OPC Foundation. If you go to the OPC Foundation GitHub, you will find the stacks. Nowadays, only the .NET Standard is actually maintained actively. So especially the Java and ANSI C stacks, they are in legacy mode, so they are not actively developed anymore further. One thing that I get questions quite frequently is that about the licensing of the stacks. So from the GitHub, like they are licensed like with GPL license, but for the OPC Foundation members can get like more commercial license to these stacks. And they also, the OPC Foundation members are allowed to distribute the stacks with this commercial license to their customers. So in principle, the SDK vendors' customers also use this commercial license and not GPL. Like I said, these Java and ANSI C stacks are now in the legacy mode. So in principle, at the moment, the SDK vendors, they have their own stacks, like for Java and ANSI C. So they are not anymore those, the same way, the old-fashioned way that there was stack and the SDK on top of that, but they integrate more nowadays with each other. Now how to find SDKs? Yeah, once again, you can go to the OPC Foundation product catalog, and if you type SDK, you will find for sure a lot of SDKs. I have now listed those that I think are the most used one. At least these are the ones that we, as head of our customer service and getting like a lot of input from the market when our customers using our Java SDK are connecting with applications made with other SDKs. So these are a little bit the ones that we most typically like meet on the other side. So we provide for the Java. For .NET, there is unified automation and softing, providing client and server SDKs, and OPC Labs for the client. C++ side, unified automation and softing, once again have client and server SDK. Unified automation actually also have PubSub SDK. And Matricon has this little bit more embedded or for SDK for more embedded devices, Flex. And this was actually like my last slide. I hope I was able to give you in real fast time and in a nutshell kind of the idea how to start using OPC UA, and I definitely recommend that for everyone. Thank you.